called.
What?
So do you get nervous?
No. Kinda.
Why?
I always get nervous.
Why?
I'm nervous before I go on every show. Did you know that?
No. Why? Tell me why.
Because to me it's a new crowd. Like I get locals sometimes, but you know that not everybody's ever seen me, so I get nervous. Like if they don't like me.
Can you tell when you're on stage?
Yeah, I can tell. I mean, like, well, sometimes, I don't know, like, you have, like, for being an entertainer, you have dead crowds. Yeah. That's what I call them, and you have alive crowds. And then the dead crowds, sometimes, like, I work so hard, and, you know, at the end of it, you know, that'd be, like, your biggest night you make the most money, and it's like, where was I, you know, during the show?
Right.
You know,
you feed off the energy?
Absolutely. It's all about energy, and with being an entertainer, bands, like I love performing with tracks, but when you get it with a band, especially an Elvis entertainer, you get more Elvis effect when you have the band.
Right.
You know.
Tell me the difference between when you have your band compared to what you do here.
Well, the band follows me and I don't have to follow them. And then the tracks, I got to follow the track. You know, I can't control. I mean, we have little things we can do, like stopping the music, you know, but as a whole, I got to follow the track.
Right. Yeah. Do you feel better? Do you feel more comfortable with the band?
Absolutely. I mean, I've worked with the band probably more than I've done tracks. So I mean, I'm more like Elvis. If you watch Elvis a lot, he conducted his band, and I had my own band before I started working here.
Yeah.
And I conducted them. You know, it's like that's what you got to do. Trying to do it. So.
Right. Okay. Well, what's a typical work week like for you as an ETA?
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
you do a lot of travel though.
I do. I mean, I travel from Oklahoma every week, but. I love it. A typical work week is Wednesday through Saturday, 3-hour show, and you know, sometimes it's crazy and intense. Sometimes you know it's just like floating through, and you know it's a mellow show or whatever. But the intense ones are my favorite because that's more Elvis-like, and women are crazy, just in general.
What do you do?
Don't put that on the interview. I'm just kidding.
What do you do on your days off?
Cry, relax. Take time to myself, I guess. Just get out of the Elvis mode. You know, I'm a huge Elvis fan. That's first and foremost. And I love what I do, but when I'm not singing, I definitely rest because 3-hour shows pretty intense.
Yeah, you go nonstop pretty much.
Yeah, sometimes we go straight through, but most of the time I'll take a break and change costumes. That's the only reason I'll take a break is just to change. So yeah, it's pretty intense, especially all the movement because you got to do all the movement Elvis does and. Sometimes you got to do more than Elvis because we're not Elvis, so you got to make the people kind of believe that you're watching Elvis.
Yeah. What do you do to psych yourself up to go on stage?
Prayer is the number one thing for me, and you know, like 5 minutes before showtime, I don't really like to be bothered. I like to just get my mindset on what's about to go on, and as soon as the Space Odyssey starts, you know, say my prayer and go on and do it. Nervous after the first couple of songs. If you see me, you'll notice that I come down a little bit, like I'm in my comfort zone. When I first come out, I'm not comfortable. I don't want to be comfortable because I want the crowd to be comfortable with me before I get comfortable with them. So. Do
you feel like you have a natural dynamic with the crowd between you and the crowd?
Most of the time, yeah. I mean, I try to make that connection with them, and that's just from watching Elvis trying to do what he did, and that's the hardest thing to ever do is to try to do what somebody else did, but. Yeah, I most of the time I feel like I get the connection with them.
Where did you get this? What made you want to do this?
When I was 4, I seen an Elvis impersonator at Eureka Springs, Arkansas. And when he came out, he had the big flashy jumpsuit and the big sideburns, and I was just amazed and amused, like, wow, you know. My parents liked Elvis. Now, they didn't introduce me to Elvis. That was the first Elvis, that I had. So after that, they love Elvis now because of me, but I always prayed then I'd grow up and have sideburns and somewhat look like Elvis, and I always tell everybody that God answers prayers because I do have big sideburns, you know. So. How
old were you when you did your first Elvis act in front of a crowd?
When I was 4, I mean, after that, I mean, I pretty much, like, when I went to kindergarten, one of the teachers asked me when I was enrolling, so can you dance like Elvis? And I was like, yeah. And I just
Do you remember how it felt?
Yeah. Then, you know, like, all through school and plays and stuff, if there was an Elvis part or talent shows, I did Elvis. I was the Elvis part in there because I tell everybody they don't even know my real name. They don't even know me as Michael. They know me as Elvis at home. So.
When did you do your first paying gig as Elvis?
Oh. I don't know. Probably, me and my cousin, we used to have a variety show. And we started that when I was like 14, 15. somewhere around there, 14 probably, and we charged like $5 to get in. But we didn't just do Elvis. We did Elvis, the Blues Brothers. My cousin looks just like John Belushi. It's completely insane, like it's scary kind of. And then he did Johnny Cash. He sounds just like him. And we had Patsy Cline and the Soggy Bottom Boys and Buddy Holly and whatever. I did George Strait, believe it or not, and then Billy Ray Cyrus, because I'm a huge Billy Ray Cyrus fan. And then Elvis has always been my main thing. I always wanted to be like Elvis, I guess.
Yeah. Now, what kind of music do you listen to when you're not in Elvis mode?
Any kind but rap. I don't like rap. I mean, I guess I don't like it. It's just not me, I guess. I love classic rock. I've seen a lot of concerts. I love country.
Yeah.
Opera. I don't listen to a whole lot of that because it's kind of like bluegrass. I'm not a big bluegrass fan. After 2 or 3 songs, it all sounds the same to me. So,
yeah.
But anything really. I mean, just rap. I don't get into that.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or something like that. That's a difference. I like that.
Yeah.
But not this new stuff.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about your costumes and your hair and your makeup. How did that come about?
Well, it's a long, when you first start, I had people make them for me, costumes and stuff. And, they were okay. I mean, I'm very grateful for that. But that's just when you're first starting out. And then, I really wanted to try to take it serious. So there's a place called B&K Enterprises, and they have the exact same molds, and the exact person used to work for them until he passed away. One of them still works for them that did Elvis's embroidery. Mm-hmm. The guy, Gene, he works for them still. But you buy them. Most of the time I buy my suits from them. All my suits are not from them. They have other people that make them just as great. There's good quality suits out there, but it depends on what era or costume you want, because they don't have every costume. So sometimes you have to get stuff made for you. I have a lady here in Memphis. Her name's Heather, and she makes a lot of my stuff for me too. So, which is ironic because when I was 6, I came to Graceland for the first time. And the stage I'm on now, I see one of my very first entertainers that did Elvis on that stage. So it's cool for me to do that. But Heather made his costumes. So it's kind of cool that she comes to my shows now and she makes some of my stuff too. So
yeah, okay. Now, how did you decide to do Young Elvis and then the '70s Elvis?
Well, I'm more intrigued with Elvis in the Vegas years. I love the jumpsuits. That's flashy. Yeah, he's the man. There's no better look than Elvis to me than that. Mm-hmm. But when I very first started doing Elvis, I did the Young Elvis, the rockabilly Elvis or the 50s Elvis, and I love to do that. I love everything about Elvis. It's just in general.
Well, you're young, so you've got a full career ahead of you. So where do you see yourself going with this?
As far as it'll take me, I don't know.
What's your dream?
I'm very humble, and my dream is, big shows, touring with the band. Just big shows. I want people to I want to give them the ultimate Elvis experience. Now, like I said on stage, I don't call myself Elvis because to me nobody will ever be Elvis. There's another, but to portray to give people a tribute. To Elvis, I want people to be like, that's the guy you want to see because that's the closest, Yeah. You're going to get, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of great Elvis tribute artists out there, and a lot of them I admire and look up to them a lot.
Anybody specifically?
Dean Z. I mean, I love him.
Yeah.
That guy, he doesn't even know how much I admire him and look up to him. He crazy good. I mean, he's got everything down to a T, every little movement you think of. I mean, he just night and day watches Elvis, and it's just I've always looked up to him. And Doug Church, I like Doug Church, and he has a great voice. I mean, insane voice. And then actually Dean is my favorite all-around ETA. My favorite voice from an ETA has to be Dwight Eisenhower.
Really?
When I first heard him sing, my jaw dropped. Whoa! Wow! Yeah, that guy can just flat out sing. I mean, you close your eyes, he makes you believe you're listening to Elvis to me.
Well, I hear people say that about you.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't ever say that, and I will never say that. But when I heard Dwight, he made my jaw drop, and that's he's really, really good.
Do you ever get with any of them and y'all get together and
I don't see them a whole lot. I mean, when I used to compete and go into contests or something, and I would run into them, we'd see each other, but as a whole, no, everybody's too busy, I work all those days, and they work on their schedule. So no, we don't see each other that much. But every now and then, Elvis week, we all see each other. And
which leads to my next question: what are your plans for Elvis week here?
Elvis week's insane. I love Elvis week. It's so busy. We're just going to do shows every night. I mean, it's like a 12-day straight. I mean, we do all Elvis week, but we started because I do my regular Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I start the Wednesday before and then go all the following week to the Saturday or Sunday. So we do shows every night. But this year they're going to do a little different. I'm the only entertainment this year here. So last year it wasn't like that, which is cool to me. I'm excited about that. And they're starting them at like 10 o'clock. So shows are going to be later. It's going to be like Elvis, because Elvis did his shows. He did 3 shows a night, different times. So.
Yeah, fun. Are you going to do any of the Elvis contests or anything here that they're having?
No,
so you're just purely going to be entertainment here?
Yeah, this year I love competing, and I don't love competing for winning. I mean, it's great to win. I love competing to see everybody, see the ETA, see the Elvis fans, and that's why I like competing. I mean, don't get me wrong, when you win, it's a great feeling. I've won several contests and several awards, and that's a great feeling, but that's not why I do it. I do it to meet the fans, meet new fans, and to see all the great ETAs that are, we don't get to see each other a lot, so, that's one way of seeing each other. So.
Any parting words?
Elvis, there's always going to be one Elvis, that's what I say on stage, and one true king, and that's Jesus Christ. So, I say that every time. That's always going to be my main thought, my last thought to everybody. So.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and God bless each and every one of you. Thank you. Take my hand, I'll take my whole life to run, for I can't help falling in love with you, for I can't help falling in love with you. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, there's only one Elvis Presley and one true king, and that's Jesus Christ. Thank you, and God bless each and every one of you.